Hi there, nathINSANE back with another build video. So I was inspired to make a stasis build video since I watched a fellow content creator named Haterade. He made an awesome build centered around the Titan exotic glaive where it shoots a bubble, then you use your stasis super and you beat the crap out of everything in front of you and it explodes and there's a lot of damage. It's really cool. You should go check it out. I will link it below in the description. Now, unfortunately for me, the only way to get this glaive pattern is to do a buttload of wellspring, and I have not gotten it yet, so I can't do this build, but I did get the Hoarfrost-Z Chest piece, which allows you to turn your Titan shield into a stasis wall of ice. So the entire goal for this build was to create a big synergy of just having as much ice on the field as humanly possible, and it worked out pretty good, I think. And I do believe once I get the exotic glaive that this build will even be better because I will be able to contain all these walls of ice in a bubble, and it's going to be fun. And like all my other videos, the build will be on the screen the entire time, and you can check the dim link in the description. And if you feel like supporting the channel or following for future builds, please leave a sub or like or whatever. I appreciate it all. Alright, so I'm not going to deep dive super hardcore into explaining every aspect and every fragment or anything, just because I don't want to waste your time, and Stasis has been out for a while, so I don't feel like I need to really do that. But if you have any questions, please leave a comment and I will answer them as fast as I can. Alright, to start off with, we are definitely going to be using glacier grenades, so that way we have big giant ice walls. Howl of the Storm allows us to do a uppercut ice wall, and then the key to this build, Tectonic Harvest, when we shatter a crystal, it creates little stasis shards that we pick up, and we can turn those into elemental energy later on with the mods that we're going to be running. For the fragments, we're going to be running Whisper of Fissures, so that way we get that big old damage boost from shattering the ice walls. Whisper of Refraction, so that way when we defeat a slowed or frozen combatant, we get our class ability back faster. Whisper of Shards, so that way when we shatter all of these stasis crystals, we get a boost to our grenade energy, and that's going to be even crazier because all of our abilities are going to create crystals. And for the final fragment, I'm using Whisper of Rhyme, but you can also use Whisper of Change. That gives you both damage reduction or it gives you an overshield. That's up to you what you like or prefer. Both work equally well, in my opinion. Now for weapons, you can use whatever you want. I haven't really gotten to test this in Lost Sectors or Master or anything or GMs, so I will let you know in the future or in the comment section when I do test it out how it goes. But you can probably make this GM ready and all that stuff if you want. Now it's going to be up to you if you want to use Elemental Ordnance, which allows you to spawn more elemental wells based off of grenade kills, or you can pick any other mod that really suits your playstyle or that you have an idea that you would like better. If you want, you can run Fonts of Might and use that with a stasis weapon and get that nice big boost on that stasis weapon damage. Now we're going to use a synergy build here. On the arms, we're going to be using Reaping Wellmaker, and on the Hoarfrost-Z, we're going to be using Well of Utilities. So the next enemy defeat that we have will spawn us a Void Elemental Well after we pop our class ability, and that's going to feed back into us regaining our class ability, at least a nice little chunk of it. We're also using Focusing Strike and Bolstering Detonation, so that way while we are using our melees and our grenades, that's also giving us class ability back as well. Now this is where the synergy with Tectonic Harvest comes in. On the class item, we're going to make it a stasis one, and we're going to use elemental shards, so that way our stasis shards count as elemental wells. On top of that, we're going to be using utility kickstart ×2, so that way when we use our class ability, it starts regaining it faster. And this is going to tie into Well of Restoration. Picking up a stasis elemental well grants you additional energy for your ability that has the lowest amount of energy. Since all of these stasis crystals that we are spawning are now technically elemental wells, this is going to give us an increase in any of the abilities that we have that are depleted. Now that covers the equipment portion of this build, but now let's go over how we actually perform this build. So to start off the rotation, we're going to pop our class ability, then use whatever other ability we have ready and available, and that's going to feed into our class ability regenning much faster. And let's say you're out of abilities, then that's when we shoot all the crystals and pick up the shards that are left behind to regen any of the other abilities, since our build is going to feed into the regen of those abilities as well. And then once you use those abilities, that feeds back into regenning your class ability, and it's a big synergy system. It's pretty simple once you get it going and very easy to learn. It's just a bunch of crystals everywhere and you're smashing them. But that's going to do it for me, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this build, and if you have any questions, again, leave them in the comments and I will get back to them as soon as I can. And as always, so long and good night.
the other